Ubisoft has cemented themselves as one of the worst gaming companies in the industry, like Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, and Take-Two Interactive, because one of their shareholders just sued the company. In 2021, Activision was sued because of alleged allegations with workplace harassment. In 2013, EA faced a shareholder lawsuit over the troubled launch of Battlefield 4, and in 2018, shareholders sued Take-Two Interactive because of how the company actually misled statements about the development of Red Dead Redemption 2 relating to crunch. This isn't a lawsuit due to how Ubisoft has been handling its employees, or even due to how they've just really been managed, even though that is a kind of little extra part of this lawsuit. The main reason is because Ubisoft has apparently been trying to sell off their intellectual property to other companies without informing the shareholders themselves. Now that is a problem. That's a pretty massive problem. I mean, you are a shareholder of a company that has seen massive failures in the stock price and just as a company overall, and now that the management of said company is not informing the people who have invested into their company about future business handlings and deals, and I'm honestly not surprised that a shareholder is actually suing Ubisoft because this could directly affect their future business and how they're being handled. This could also save the company if they do sell an intellectual property at the correct price. I'm imagining, properties like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed would go for several $billion each just because of how big they are, how many games have been produced under the portfolio, and how much money Ubisoft has made overall with those games. Now, I don't really know if another gaming company like EA, or let's call Xbox, because it's Microsoft that may be purchasing, this intellectual property, but I'm going to specify Xbox. I don't know if they're really the best choices to handle like IPs like this. I mean, what have they really been doing? Like especially Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts has been really dicking around this past the year or two, especially with releases like Dragon Age: The Veilguard that completely flopped. And I mean, what else do they have other than their sports titles? Now, Split Fiction they did just release behind Hazelight, and obviously it's Hazelight. They're going to do a fantastic job. But when we're talking about EA Core, they have just been messing around for a long time. And yes, Xbox themselves has definitely done better these last few years in terms of releasing games, but they still just can't hit that stride of really pushing their subscription service with fantastic titles. Games like Avowed, look, it's a good game, but it's not something that I would call an absolute 10 out of 10 banger, or even up to the standard of normal Obsidian RPGs. Even just all of their games in general have a lot of stigma around them because they have been in development for so long, so we expect something that is just absolutely mind-blowing, and if you're going to be giving a game like Assassin's Creed to a company like that, I don't think the property will improve at all. I think it's going to be the same as it always has been, and some people might be fine with that. And another question I ask is, what gaming company would actually want to buy these properties and actually want to work on an Assassin's Creed or Far Cry title, or Prince of Persia? Like, what team is capable of doing that right now that doesn't already have several other things in motion? Like, a Splinter Cell game would be really cool, maybe under a Sony studio if they can get it right. But what studio is going to do that when they already have so many other projects in development? What Xbox studios are going to be able to do that right now? I mean, Obsidian could do something, but they're also preoccupied with The Outer Worlds 2 and probably like 2 other unplanned announcements. Yes, there is a chance that another company comes in, like Amazon or Meta comes in, makes a new gaming studio and just decides, hey, you guys are going to go out and make a new Assassin's Creed title. I want it rebooted, I want it restructured, and I want it to sell 6 million copies first game. And it fails. I mean, Meta just purchased this IP, or Amazon purchased this IP, blew billions of more dollars into developing a new studio, and then everything failed, and then that property stays dead unless they sell off the intellectual property to someone else. I feel like I'm really cynical with a situation like this, and I'm thinking if Ubisoft does get shut down, I'm thinking that the properties will die with the company. I don't think that selling them off to another conglomerate corporation is going to save these games. I don't think it's going to make the games better. We've seen so many new IPs under Microsoft now for several years, and they've done nothing with them. They've done nothing. Even then, when they make new intellectual properties like Hi-Fi Rush, they cancel them and kill them. And then the studio gets bought up by another company, thank God, but now we have no idea what's going to happen under that company. We don't know if a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush is going to be any good, if they're even working on that. If they're going to make it into some huge new intellectual property that's going to be billions of dollars worth, and Microsoft realizes that they've made a massive, just disappointing move. But I don't see a situation personally where Ubisoft is able to again go sell their intellectual property and a company is able to, just make a fantastic game out of it, and then the game is saved. The series is saved. Assassin's Creed could be saved, or Far Cry could be saved. I see a situation where Ubisoft sells this off to some big company, probably not Microsoft or EA, but probably some company that hasn't gotten into gaming. They try to develop a title, either it keeps getting rebooted and then they cancel it, or they release it and it's horrible. But that's all I really have to say on this whole thing. Just thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. See you guys in the next video.